We usually think of time as a straight arrow, relentlessly pushing us forward. Past, present, future. A neat, linear progression. You spill your coffee, it's a one-and-done mess. You say something awkward at a party, cringe once, then move on. But what if that wasn't how it worked at all? What if, instead of a line stretching into infinity, time decided to get a little circular? What if time flowed in loops, not lines? Imagine a world where the universe hits a subtle cosmic rewind button, not to a specific point, but where moments, days, maybe even entire lives repeat. Not always identical copies, but echoes, like a vinyl record that keeps playing the same track, but each spin reveals a new nuance, or maybe, just maybe, you finally learn to moonwalk during the guitar solo. So, how would you experience this personal Groundhog Day on repeat? Would you remember previous loops? That's the million-dollar existential question, often followed by, and can I finally nail that tricky level in my favorite video game? If you don't remember, life would feel like an endless series of powerful déjà vu moments. You'd constantly feel like you've been here, done that, heard that joke before. Wait, haven't I had this exact conversation about the weather with my neighbor like 5 times this week? Every new relationship would feel uncannily familiar, leading to awkward first dates where you accidentally predict their favorite movie. You might subconsciously avoid pitfalls, making good decisions without knowing why. I just had a sudden urge not to touch that suspiciously wobbly shelf. Life would be a series of familiar surprises, like constantly discovering you left your keys in the fridge. If you do remember, this is where it gets really mind-bending and potentially hilarious or utterly soul-crushing. Imagine living through Tuesday, only to wake up on Monday again, remembering every excruciating detail of the Tuesday that just happened. Your alarm goes off and you sigh, this Monday, again. Time to pretend I don't know my boss is going to spill coffee on himself at 8:17 a.m. You'd be stuck in a personal Groundhog Day. But the loop isn't just a day, it could be a week, a month, a year, or even an entire lifetime of trying to get that stubborn jar open. Growth and learning would be strange. Would you accumulate wisdom across loops, constantly trying to perfect your reactions, master skills, or simply find new ways to entertain yourself within the confines of the same repeating events? Like finally memorizing all the lines to that terrible infomercial that always plays at 3 a.m. Aging might become cyclical too. Perhaps you live to 80, then find yourself back at 20, with all the wisdom, or regrets, or encyclopedic knowledge of sitcom reruns of your previous loops. Talk about a second chance, or a 1,000th chance to finally learn to play the ukulele. Now, let's zoom out. How would society function if time flowed in loops? History as a broken record and a bad improv show. Historical events wouldn't just be recorded, they'd be relived. Would world leaders be stuck endlessly renegotiating the same treaties until humanity figured out a different path? Wait, haven't we had this exact debate about the tax reform bill every Tuesday for the past 3 cycles? Scientific breakthroughs might be rediscovered in every loop, or perhaps knowledge would somehow accumulate across cycles, leading to impossibly advanced civilizations that always reset, only to lose all their cutting-edge tech every time the loop resets. Imagine trying to explain quantum physics to a version of yourself who just invented the wheel. Economic cycles on steroids. Stock markets would crash, recover, and then crash again, perfectly. Imagine the ultimate insider trading, knowing precisely when the next boom or bust will happen. You could be a millionaire every Tuesday, only to lose it all by Wednesday's reset. But what's the point of wealth if it all resets? Perhaps society would shift away from accumulation and towards maximizing experience within each loop. Forget the stock market, let's just perfect our collective synchronized swimming routine this cycle. Laws and justice. The eternal get-out-of-jail-free card. How do you punish a criminal who's going to repeat their crime in the next loop? Would prisons just become timeout zones until the reset? Or would society find ways to reprogram individuals within the loop to make better choices next time? Look, Bob, we're tired of you stealing the last donut. This loop, we're trying a positive reinforcement program. There's a whole box of donuts if you don't steal that one. This what if quickly spirals into deep philosophical territory. How do you find meaning when everything's on repeat? The burden of eternal recurrence, or the universe's favorite gag. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche explored the concept of eternal recurrence, the idea that all events in the universe will infinitely recur in the same sequence. He asked, if you had to live your life over and over again precisely as it is, would you embrace it or would you curse it? For Nietzsche, embracing it was the ultimate affirmation of life. For us, it might just mean we finally get good at parallel parking after a few thousand attempts. Finding meaning in the loop. If time is a loop, perhaps meaning isn't found in a linear progression towards a grand finale, but in the beauty of the repetition itself, like a musician perfecting a melody or an artist refining a brushstroke. Each loop could be an opportunity for deeper appreciation, for finding joy in the familiar, for making tiny personal improvements that echo through eternity. Maybe the goal isn't to break the loop, but to finally perfect your morning coffee routine, or learn to juggle chainsaws. You've got all the time in the world, literally. A world where time flowed in loops, not lines, would be the ultimate test of acceptance. It would challenge our very notions of free will, consequence, and purpose. Would we be prisoners of a repeating cycle, forever doomed to relive that embarrassing moment from high school? Or would we find liberation in the endless possibilities for refinement within each turn? Maybe figuring out how to survive that alien invasion that always happens on Wednesday. So, what do you think? Would you embrace the loop or try desperately to break free? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more mind-bending what-if scenarios. Maybe next time we'll figure out what happens if gravity only works on Tuesdays.